The story begins at the busy port of Hong Kong, where cranes were loading containers onto ships. These containers were being sent to different destinations under tight security. In one of these containers was a man named Iván with a large sum of money. After passing security checks, he emerged from the container. This container had been shipped from Spain to Hong Kong with $1.5 million. After counting the money, Iván was to receive a 3% commission as a courier, which would be approximately $45,000. A few years earlier, we see Iván arriving at a luxury hotel in a Ferrari, though he only worked as a valet parker. After work, Iván returned home in the rain, where he showed Iván's mother his day's earnings. She was delighted to see the money, but reminded him to spend time with Iván's father, who missed him greatly. Iván was a young man from a middle-class family who aspired to succeed in life. There was a time when Iván considered his father his hero, and he could never forget the day they went together to request a loan for opening a wedding banquet hall. His father's business flourished initially. The family was earning substantial money, but then due to an economic crisis in the country, his father's business collapsed. Iván decided he would never live in poverty again. After the recession, his father often complained while watching TV, which made Iván increasingly frustrated with him. Nothing productive, just criticizing the government all day, he thought. During this period, Iván worked as a valet while constantly seeking business opportunities. Unlike his father, he refused to accept the existing system. One day he shared his business plan with friends, buying a rundown apartment, renovating it, and selling it for profit. His friends showed no interest in the idea. They lacked both enthusiasm and investment capital. Iván suggested taking a bank loan, which made his friends laugh at him. At his valet job, Iván and his friends encountered a minister in the current government who was heavily intoxicated. Iván offered to drive the man home, and he readily accepted. Iván was curious about the man's briefcase and fortunately had ample opportunity to examine it. He was amazed to discover substantial cash inside and immediately took some of the money. After a while, when they reached his house, Iván met Marie, for whom he had worked as a valet. Iván believed he could perform better than this drunkard politician, who didn't care whether his business succeeded or failed. Iván claimed the politician was corrupt, and having taken the money from the briefcase, his words rang true. Marie was impressed by Iván's confidence and offered him 10,000 euros for a delivery job, which Iván eagerly accepted. The next day, Iván delivered a horse to a man named Francisco, who had purchased it for his daughter Letitia's birthday. When questioned, Iván explained this was his first delivery for Marie. During their conversation, they discovered that Francisco and Iván were from the same city. Francisco shared his story of how he had worked in an ordinary photocopy shop before gradually partnering with influential people to reach his current position. Now, Iván had to deliver a briefcase full of cash from Francisco to Marie, but this task wouldn't be simple. En route, Iván was stopped by police who quickly discovered the cash in the briefcase. To protect himself, he even lied, claiming he had just sold his house and this was the payment. The police easily caught his deception and angrily slammed his head against the car. Seeing himself in trouble, Iván confidently declared that he knew their boss and asked if he should call him. The officers then released him. These police officers actually worked for Marie, and this entire incident was planned to test Iván's loyalty. After the successful delivery, Iván received his payment plus a bonus to buy new clothes. Time passed, and Marie and Iván grew closer. The next day, Iván met Marie's partner in the money laundering business. He was involved in diamond smuggling and also operated a foreign currency trafficking business. Iván's assignment that day involved courier work to Belgium. He was thrilled with his new career, earning substantial money while driving expensive cars. This partner laundered money for wealthy clients with Marie's assistance. He would give Iván briefcases filled with cash to deliver to Belgium. One day, while Iván was talking to Letitia, Francisco saw their interaction. Displeased, Francisco warned Iván to stay away from Letitia. A few days later, Iván met Marie at a restaurant, where he mentioned the dangers in Belgium and proposed finding a new partner in Geneva instead. They noticed an odd couple nearby, prompting Iván to comment on how the unremarkable man had attracted such an attractive woman. Marie replied that anything was possible with what was in his briefcase. Iván remained eager to continue working with Marie, wanting to learn more about their operation. They then visited a building where they met Stoffel, another business partner of Marie's, who had developed an excellent money laundering system, taking a 3% commission for his services. After a while talking to his mother, Iván saw the same man from the restaurant on TV with his beautiful girlfriend. Iván also spotted the man's wife on television and realized he was having an affair with the restaurant girl. Iván patiently waited for the man to return so he could install cameras in his room for blackmail purposes. The man's name was Luis, To access his room, Ivan bribed a cleaner, but unfortunately, the restaurant's security officer, Yannick, caught him red-handed. However, Yannick proved equally corrupt, wanting only a share of Ivan's profits. Yannick then installed the camera himself. The video evidence they obtained was sufficient to blackmail Luis. Ivan was convinced that Yannick could become an excellent partner since he was both powerful and sharp-minded. After completing their work, they celebrated with a great party that night. Subsequently, Ivan met Marie and mentioned that his mother had been insisting on seeing him. Marie immediately replied that there was no problem and he could take as many days off as needed, as she believed family was most important. She also gave Ivan a watch as a gift, explaining that a person's watch and shoes revealed everything about them. Ivan and Yannick then confronted Luis, showing him the footage and presenting him with two options: speak to the police and ruin his reputation, or work with them. They wanted to move money from Spain to Switzerland and open a branch in Luis's city, requiring his assistance. Initially hesitant, Luis eventually accepted all their conditions. Instead of deleting the video, Iván made a deal with Luis to introduce him to all the key players. Iván was unaware that a special police unit was monitoring these activities, and Roig learned about Iván for the first time. Soon, with Luis's support and backing, Iván began meeting influential people and understanding how their business operated. Luis helped Iván build trust by vouching for him. Iván then informed Marie about his new venture, but she expressed only one concern. Francisco wouldn't appreciate this development. He wouldn't like two newcomers stealing his clients, as Francisco would handle money laundering if Ivan and Yannick didn't. However, Ivan believed there was enough money for everyone and promised not to steal Francisco's clients. After spending the night together, Iván asked Marie to stay, but she preferred celebrating Christmas with her family. When Iván visited his family in Madrid, he brought numerous gifts, though his father wasn't pleased at all. His father didn't understand Iván's work at all and kept questioning him about it. Iván claimed he did import-export business with influential people, but this quickly escalated into an argument. After fighting with his father, Iván visited his old friends and discovered they were now buying old apartments and renovating them for resale, essentially stealing the business idea he had proposed to them years earlier. Time passed, money continued flowing, and Iván's business prospered. During one meeting, he encountered Francisco and Leticia. Francisco was upset that Iván was stealing his clients and warned him about it. Despite the warning, Iván didn't listen. So Francisco sent men to teach Iván and Yannick a lesson, demonstrating that they had no right to operate in his territory. Instead of retreating after this incident, Iván decided to confront Francisco directly. He assured Francisco he wouldn't target his clients and proposed working within Francisco's territory, while giving him 30% of the profits. Francisco was pleased with this arrangement. During this period, Iván earned substantial money, which inflated his ego. When Marie criticized his behavior, he became angry, believing that whoever brought in the most money deserved respect. Marie informed him that her partner had received information about an investigation into Francisco, and she advised Iván to distance himself from the situation. However, Iván ignored her advice and planned to expand his business further. Later, Iván spotted an undercover policeman outside a party and approached him, requesting to meet his superior. The police brought him to the station where he met Roig, who was leading the investigation. Iván offered to help the police, claiming Francisco was his boss and promising to provide all information about him. In return, he demanded complete safety and protection, while continuing to give Francisco 30% of profits to avoid suspicion. To establish an alibi and prove he hadn't informed on Francisco, Iván took Leticia to Paris, where he fulfilled her every wish for a week. He pretended to love Leticia so no one would suspect him, allowing him to claim he was simply vacationing with his girlfriend. A few days later, when Leticia saw news of her father's arrest on television, she immediately wanted to return to Madrid, unaware that Iván was responsible for her father's imprisonment. However, when Iván returned to the city, Leticia caught him with other women, realizing he had feigned his love for her. After Francisco's imprisonment, Iván announced he would manage Francisco's clients until his return. Marie and her business partners disapproved, knowing the police had information about Francisco's clients and Iván could be caught. Iván heeded their advice and temporarily closed his business, spending his remaining money partying in Madrid. When his funds depleted, Iván returned home to discover his father had passed away and his mother needed assistance. Even back home, he continued contemplating new business opportunities and eventually learned about the Chinese mafia. Through Luis, Iván discovered Ming, who laundered people's money to China using outdated methods that frequently resulted in arrests. After this, Iván went to meet Marie and discussed partnering with Ming. The biggest challenge was that transferring money from Switzerland seemed impossible, and Ming's clients demanded cash payments. Iván proposed a solution. He would send money to Ming's Chinese account, and in return, Ming would provide them with cash in Spain. Both parties agreed to this arrangement and began celebrating their new deal when Francisco suddenly appeared at their table. After questioning Leticia, Francisco discovered that Iván had informed the police about him. However, he had bribed the judge and gotten his case dismissed. Now, he wanted revenge against Iván at any cost. Francisco also learned that a software engineer working for him had leaked the Swiss bank account list to authorities. Subsequently, Stoffel and other partners fled with the remaining money. Iván and Marie immediately realized they were in serious trouble because most of their clients were on that leaked list. With police pursuing them, they attempted to escape but were captured by Chinese clients and brought to Ming, who was also in deep trouble due to police surveillance. Ming suspected Iván had informed the police about him and intended to kill both Iván and Marie. As Ming prepared to shoot Iván quickly devised a plan. He promised Ming he would personally deliver the money to its destination, proposing to hide himself in a cash-filled container and transfer all of Ming's money from Spain to Hong Kong. Though risky, this was Iván's only chance of survival. Additionally, if Iván reached Hong Kong, Ming wouldn't fear him cooperating with police. According to plan, Iván safely reached Hong Kong and was excited about earning his 3% commission. However, police suddenly arrived and arrested him, then extradited him back to Spain. He knew his only hope was securing a good lawyer to reduce his sentence, as punishment was inevitable. His lawyer informed him that at least 15 years in prison was guaranteed, prompting Iván to attempt bribing a police inspector. Unfortunately, the man wasn't actually a police officer. Iván later discovered that Marie had betrayed him to the police to save herself, leading to his capture in Hong Kong. He understood her motivation, acknowledging he would have done the same in her position. Eventually, Ming was also arrested by police. Finally facing imprisonment, Iván reflected that his father's words had been correct. In an interview, he admitted that money corrupts people's minds, and the same had happened to him. He realized that his pursuit of wealth had ultimately led to his downfall, costing him everything he had worked for and destroying the relationships that truly mattered. If you enjoyed this story breakdown, please hit the like button and subscribe for more movie summaries. See you in the next video.